Okay, Kevin and Brandon are here to bring the last of the American Graffiti vehicles, the Citroen. So I'm just going to put you up top here and we'll get it in here. Well, we decided while Kevin and Brandon were available and they had the trailer to get a couple cars out of storage that we were holding for them. So I'm just driving the Jurassic Park Jeep. We did a transmission in after the Chilliwack show, I believe. Loaded up Uncle Roy's 56 to get that back to their collection. So now that they've got some room, that they're done some renovations. Man, the wind noise out of these soft tops is something else. Beautiful day, so good day for them to move cars around, because this thing needs to go in their movie car garage. They've done some renovations in there, and if you follow them at all on their DC DeLorean and other movie cars stuff, you'll see that they're expanding a little bit, and it's got a bit of a surprise room that they're developing and stuff. So yeah, worth going over there and taking a look. Lots of oil pressure, lots of voltage, lots of fuel, and finally fifth gear. We didn't have fifth gear for the last 4 or 5 years that they've owned it, so the transmission that was in it was so beat up that we ended up buying it good used and rebuilding it. I'm just gonna head out into the shop here and do a quick walk around. The guys are working away. Lyle's getting ready. Oh, he is doing some kick panels right now. He's working away on that. He's working away on the stereo of the C10 there, and over here we got the Nova up on the rack, so Corbin was able to do some welding underneath, and we checked out his brakes. He wanted us to look at his brakes, and we found an axle seal on this side and a ball joint on the front that's got a ripped boot, but we need to align all this anyway, so we're going to get this axle seal done, then we'll be able to get it over on the alignment rack and align it and check his ball joint out when it's on load versus hanging. But yeah, here's a look at the inside of the wheel tubs here. So that's all metal worked. Looking good. So that's about that. So we're just doing a few little things there, and then it's going to go to the body shop to get primed up. Over in Fab, Corbin's working on a radiator for the blue C10. Just got some edging in, some rubber edging for the raw edges, and waiting on some rubber flaps for the through holes. But yeah, we got the edging there, and we should have the flaps for these holes tomorrow. So they blow through when you're driving down the road. It'll just blow straight through, but when you're parked, it'll suck in tight and give you that cooling you need. We got some bumpers from another shop out of Prince George. They sent them in for chrome, and there's a ton of porosity wherever they've done some work on the bumpers, and we're trying to weld them up for him, and instantly it's starting to porositize again, and porositize? I don't even know how to say that, but more porosity is coming into the TIG welding right away, so we probably need to gouge out those areas and start over, but it seems like something simple to weld up 20 spots per bumper, but that could be a week's worth of work, so just waiting to hear back from the guy to see what his thoughts are on that. Over here we have got the bolts, finally, the proper Toyota bolts for the drive shafts. So that's all bolted in nicely. On the rear, I think we're still waiting for smaller ones for the front. Corbin's got the cross member all done up. So we were going to do a tubular bar in here, but just the time involved for what we would have got out of it didn't really make sense. The juice wasn't really going to be worth the squeeze. So we just added some angle on top to stiffen it, and it looks really good, nice and strong. And he built the cover here so you can remove this cover to drain the transfer case, and then it's got a nice skid plate underneath it here, and yeah, it all ties in nicely to the cross member that we've built. Everything's looking good here, and we did just get the speed sensor in, or the crank sensor, so we should be able to get that crank sensor in soon and get this thing fired up, hopefully. So, and over here Bernard's working on the 72. We finally got a final list on what the customer wants us to do. Now that we had it up and running, now he wants to go a little further on what we're doing. So going to take this phone call and I'll see you in a second. That was just the customer with those bumpers, so I had a quick chat with him, and now we'll get back to our walk around here. So yeah, we've got the tail lights in the back of the car. Bernard's getting ready to do the spoiler, but he needs to put some trim on so we can line everything all up nicely. The customer wants the glass in, but he wants us to do minimal work to get the glass in, so we had to get some seals in the doors. The glass is over at our detail shop, so we're gonna get that brought back over here so you can put it in, and he wants the trim put on. So yeah, so he wants us to do all the hard stuff, and then he'll do all the easy stuff. And then up front here we got, well, we had headlights in, but they're out now, so I guess we've got to kind of went backwards here. So
these pot metal tips are broken off, and you can't put a nut on them.
Oh, I see.
So I gotta extend them. I gotta put a piece of like a brake line, just a little 1/2-inch piece, and I'm gonna put a 1032 in it. I'm gonna use JB weld, and I'm gonna glue on a little nib, so it'll come back a little bit, and I'm gonna do all 4 of them. Otherwise, they won't hold tight against it.
Oh, okay, so there's just nothing left of the pot metal.
Yeah, they're
supposed to be like a nut, almost like this, but
yeah, the pot metal one, but
it's all eroded away.
Yeah.
So okay, so the nose is still all together. It's just off the car right now because this wasn't sinking into the fender.
I couldn't get a nut on it. Like,
yeah, there's nothing there.
There was nothing there, so
yeah. Okay, well, he's got a plan to get something back on there to try and extend those out, and then those just bolt in through here on the fender. So, but yeah, the assembly's still all together, which is nice. So he's working on that. We got the air filter done, and as you said, working on the trim.
Hood scoops.
And the hood scoops, yeah, those look pretty cool. Everything's all black, which this red looks good with the black accents. So, all right, moving on here. John's been working on that blue C10. Corbin's working on the radiator for it right now, getting that dialed in. The brakes are all done. We had to replace the master. The customer put power doors on. The truck wasn't power. So we got the windows working for him, and that's as far as he wanted us to go with the power. And the Dakota Digital's in. So that's pretty much where we're at with this truck. And then I think at that point, then the customer's taking it and doing more to it himself at this point, or he might bring it back, I'm not sure. So that's about where we're at there. And the Camaro, nothing's happened with the car itself in the last few days. We do have the engine over here with the heads on it, the timing chain and cam all done. And we had a real hard time getting a new timing cover that was the right dimensions up in here. See how it jogs in? So the fancy ones that we ordered were all billet, so they were bulkier and they didn't fit with the front runner kit from Vintage Air. So we finally got a cover. So I ran these numbers. There's numbers on the front of here, and those numbers are for the 502 crate engine cover from GM, which they've discontinued, but they found me the numbers for the 454 cover, and we were able to get one out of Rock Auto, out of everywhere, and it's literally the exact same cover. It's aluminum as well. Yeah, so got that out of Rock Auto, and it came nice with the seal and everything. So I can show you what they did. So whoever had this vehicle before, or engine, did an in-car timing chain job, and they cut the ears off right here. You see the difference? So they milled these ears off, or ground them off, and there's nothing left there to hold the seal in place, and they just loaded it full of silicone to try and to seal it. And then of course all that silicone extra got into the engine and could have eventually caused issues. So that's why we were waiting for a timing cover. So we now have the timing cover, so John can get back onto this when he's done with what he's doing on the blue truck. The heads are on. The customer has got us to order in a new intake manifold. This GM intake manifold, we tried to make it look good. We couldn't make it look good with just cleaning it. So then we painted it with the closest to aluminum color we had, but there's still a lot of pitting and weird porosity in this factory intake manifold. So we've ordered the shiny, polished Eldebrock intake, matches the Eldebrock former RPM heads. So he's gonna have a matching intake to heads. And we've also ordered some big 502 valve covers. So those should be here soon. Hopefully they'll clear the brakes. It does have the small booster, but I'm kind of concerned that the big valve covers are gonna hit the booster. And then of course these valve covers don't even fit with the new rockers. Yeah, so anyway, that's where that's at. We should have the engine further together here in the next day or so. And then the Barracuda, the drive shaft just came in for it. So we can throw the drive shaft in, and then that'll allow us to fill the transmission full of fluid. And then the only other thing we're waiting for is wheels. So we've confirmed we need at least a 16-inch wheel, and I've never used this tool myself yet, so I got to figure out how it's supposed to be set up. I was just playing with it a little bit with the owner to kind of show him how it works, so I can figure out the tooling, and then we figure we can fit at least a 12-inch wide tire in here with like tread width. So probably a 13 with, I think they call that section width. I'm not a huge tire number guy, but anyway, we want to fit the biggest tire we can in here and then get the right wheel to match that. And we're hoping to find a wheel with an offset that's kind of a store-bought versus having to spend big money, but we'll see what we can figure out. So we're getting super close on this. So wheels are going to be the big thing to hold us up. So hopefully we find something he likes that will fit and not be 6 to 8 weeks to build. So, and over here, Dave's finishing up that head gasket job. We got the heads back from the machine shop yesterday, and Dave's been on it since 6:30 this morning. So he's nearing the end of the road, and hopefully we'll have it done soon. And then over in the back shop, we pulled my truck into the detail bay to get an idea how it looks with the vehicle in here, and there's a ton of room, which is great. So of course there's going to be a cabinet set in here, and then whatever we hang on the walls and whatnot, but this is pulled in super far, taking up as much room as it possibly can, and they have a ton of room to work on a big truck like this. So a couple smaller vehicles they'll be able to work on at the same time in here, or a monster like this thing, so that's pretty cool. And over in the other bay here, Clint's getting ready to weld up some holes in the Teen Wolf van. So he's just grinding down all the areas, get rid of the paint, and then we'll get some copper in the back and weld up the holes. So these lights need to be gone, all that stuff in the front needs to be gone. I'm not sure, we'll have to look at the, I have on my toolbox the pictures from Brandon on what goes back and doesn't go back on. So yeah, probably a few other holes as well. So we'll do the ones we know for sure, and then we'll look at the rest. Yeah, okay. And we're not going to do full body work on this thing right now. This is just a movie prop vehicle. We're going to fill that with some metal filler. Total backyard rondo type job to at least get it looking the part for March. Yeah, and then same with the back doors. We're not going to get into rebuilding the doors right now. This vehicle does deserve a proper restoration. It's in pretty good shape, but for the timeline and what the vehicle is going to be used for, it's not super necessary. So we're just going to do what we can to make it look the part for now. The tail lights and backup lights are all wrong. The license plate spot is all wrong. The tail lights need to be up here, and the license plate needs to be on that side. It didn't have center clearance lights in the movie because I think this vehicle is it's a little bigger. It's I think a 1500 series, and the one in the movie was a 1200. So it's a little longer maybe, and then maybe a little newer, and that's why it has different lighting. But it's so close that it'll do the part for sure. So anyway, that's pretty much it for now. Just did that quick walkthrough. A few vehicles have moved around. We're really pushing to get some vehicles out and some new vehicles in. I have to pick up a Mustang tomorrow, and we have a couple other vehicles getting dropped off. So yeah, it's all coming together, and it looks like John's gonna start working on that now. So that's awesome. So anyway, guys, thanks for following along. We'll see you soon.